Okay, guys, here's another real good GeoGebra applet, which will give you the cosine and sine values at all your stops along the unit circle, which are having reference angles of pi over 6, pi over 4, and pi over 3. And actually, this makes stops, as you see, in pi over 12 increments. Okay, so pi over 12 increments is where it starts, which is every 15 degrees. So here we are at pi over 6, cosine value root 3 over 2, sine value 1/2. At pi over 4, which is indicated as 3 pi over 12, of course, root 2 over 2, root 2 over 2 for cosine, sine, respectively. There's our pi over 6 um, with the cosine at 1/2 and the sine at root 3 over 2. Here's our pi over 2 stop, which is at which stops here as it says at 6 pi over 12, but of course there is pi over 2. Okay, into the third quadrant, there's our 2 pi over 3 stop, our 2 pi over 3, listed here as 8 pi over 12, but 2 pi over 3. Cosine is negative in this quadrant, negative 1/2. Sine is positive root 3 over 2. There's our pi over 4 reference angle in the second quadrant, okay, with a positive cosine, positive sine, and a negative cosine. Um, Here's our 5 pi over 6. That is a reference angle of pi over 6. Pi over 6 short of the pi, okay? And there's our cosine and sine values, respectively. Okay, going in the quadrant 3 with a reference angle of pi over 6 is 7 pi over 6, 7 pi over 6, cosine and sine both being negative in this quadrant. Here's our reference angle of pi over 3 in quadrant 3, which of course is 5 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4. Here's a reference angle of pi over 3 in quadrant 3, which is a stop at this is our stop at 4 pi over 3. Here's our stop at 3 pi over 2. Here's our stop here with a reference angle in quadrant 4 pi over 4, which is our 7 pi over 4 stop, okay, with cosine root 2 over 2 positive, sine root 2 over 2 negative. And here's our stop here with a reference angle of pi over 6, of course this being 11 pi over 6 here, 11 pi over 6. So there's a lot of good applets out there on GeoGebra. I've just listed a couple of these. Remember, these are in increments of pi over 12 radians. Of course, we're going to be interested in simplifying these, but just gives you another way of tagging these cosine and sine values of those angles in each of their respective quadrants.